Hey everyone, welcome back again. Been a while. We're into, I think it's the 28th of May. Finally got rid of the rain for a day or two, and I've been working on the yard lots. Not getting much done in the shop, but gonna do a little bit today here. So as you saw in the lead-in picture there, the thumbnail, I got this really cool caricature done of my 28 Dodge. There's a company out of Saskatoon, Saskatchewan called, or not, Nasium, Saskatchewan, called Garage Inc. They have stock ones that you can order from them, or you can send them a picture of your car, truck, whatever, and he'll do a custom cartoon caricature of it and put it on a 30 by 40 banner. Or you can get it on hoodies, t-shirts, hats, whatever you want. I just thought it was really cool and had to have one here. So I'm just going to take you over, show you what we're working on. Try not to get seasick here as we're going across. So just doing a little project here. It's supposed to start raining again on Thursday, so I figured I might as well get started on something. This is the front section of drive shaft out of the 59. And it's the one that goes to the steady bearing at the back end here. I shortened the frame 20.5 inches, so I have to shorten this drive shaft 20.5 inches. And that takes it from back here by the steady bearing, which was completely shot. I'm going to cut this joint apart here, slide the center spline out of it, and I've got to cut it right here, dead straight around, 20.5 inches out. I'll then clean up the slip-in part here and slide it into the new after I cut it, and then I'll show you how I'm going to line it up, take care of any runout that's in it, and go from there. I've got to try and find this oil slinger. This one's bent pretty bad. So far I haven't had any luck finding those parts online, but I'm going to keep looking here. I can replace this before I put the steady bearing on, which I already have here. So once I get this set up to cut it out, or cut this 20 inches out, I'll bring you back and show you how we're going to go about it. Okay, so we're back. What I've done is I took a piece of cardboard that is exactly parallel side to side and long enough to go around about 1.5 turns, and you line up the edge, put a piece of tape on, and it'll give you a perfectly straight line all the way around your where you want to cut. I got that done. Pull this off. Good old beer case cat again. I got my mark ready to cut. I'm going to cut it off here. I put a reference mark here and on the slinger at the other end, so that I can line everything up and have it all phased again when I weld it back together here. So I'm just going to cut this off, and then I'll get set up to cut the spline end out of it as well. Okay, so what I've done here is I took my zip disc and I've cut through the center of the weld that welded the spline end onto the tube, and I've cut down. You can almost feel when it goes through the tube itself, and then any spots that are still hung up, when I start tapping on it here, I should be able to see if it's if I need to cut a little bit more. So let me grab a hammer here and see what happens. I'll tighten this up. It should just come out of there pretty simple. Probably pretty loud. So I can tell it's still solid. So what I'm going to do is, I can see one spot here that probably needs a little more cutting, so I'm going to work on that. And once I get this separated here, I'll show you what. Okay guys, what I ended up doing here, it didn't want to cooperate, so I just cut it just behind where the spline end is pushed in, And now I can work at it from the back side here, from where I split it to get this off of here. Okay guys, so I got it, I got the piece off the drive shaft here. What it was is they must have left a big gap, and the weld was quite a bit wider than what I assumed. So now I've got to clean this all up so I get a nice tight snug fit into the piece I cut off. I can line up my mark here, and then I can show you how I'm going to true this up. Okay, we're back again. What I've done is I've got the two pieces of the drive shaft, and I made sure to get everything phased properly. You want all of the fixed cups to be parallel all the way, the full length of the drive shaft. So I used a piece of flat aluminum on the bottom here to set the cup on, and then the spline only goes in one way. It's got a double spline, and then I lined this up where it had to be, and then I pushed this in to the tube on my little press. It didn't take much to get it in there once I have had everything all lined up. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to get this jigged up so that I can check the run out on it and straighten it up as best I can. I'm looking to get somewhere around 10 thou of run out on before I start welding. Okay guys, so we're all set up here for adjusting the run out on this. Now, because this is a two-piece drive shaft, I have to do it a little bit differently than I do with a one-piece. On a one-piece, you can actually do it on the vehicle. Slide your yoke into the transmission, bolt your back end up to the differential with the back wheels off the ground. If it's a posi, you can just have somebody turn one back wheel with it in neutral, and it'll spin the drive shaft really smoothly because you're not actually touching the drive shaft. If it's an open differential, you'll have to block one wheel and then have somebody rotate the other one, and it'll spin the drive shaft the same way for you. Then what you do is mount your dial indicator off the transmission or whichever end you're going to do the welding on, and check your run out and tap the high side until you get your run out down as low as you can possibly get it. So what I've done on this, because it's a two-piece, I have a piece of angle iron that I welded a tab on the back to bolt in my vise. I cleaned this angle up and the drive shaft really smooth, and I put a little film of grease in it just so that it doesn't drag when it turns. And I'll just get you up here onto the dial indicator, and I'm down to about 5 thou, 6 thou. I'll just give it a turn here. Zero's right at the top there. Oh. Okay, so 0. It's really tough to keep it in exactly the same spot. And I do have a couple of imperfections on the shaft here that it tends to drop in about 1 thou, which I'm not taking into account. So right at the moment here, that's a high spot. I'm just going to give it a light tap, reset my 0. Okay, I'm dropping into that. There's an imperfection in the shaft right here, so I'm trying to stay away from that, and it's not being real friendly. There we go again. Right now we're probably in the 7 to 8 thou range. I'm going to keep playing with this. Once I get it absolutely the best I can, then I'm going to put 4 tacks on. I'll put 1 on each, opposite each other. I'll check it again, and then I'll do the other 2 here. Okay guys, we got this all welded up. I did 2 passes with the TIG welder on it. I'm down to about 5.5 to 6 thou. It's a little tough telling for sure on this jig I've got set up here, but once I get the steady bearing on and mount it onto the truck, I can spin the drive shaft slowly and just double check everything here. So it wasn't too bad to do. Once I get it on the truck here, I can show you the finished product, but overall pretty happy with it. Am I saying you can do it? That's up to you. Should we do it? That's up to you as well. This is the 4th drive shaft that I've shortened. The first 3 I've never had an issue with vibration or any kind of problems. So I'm going to continue to save the $350 to $500 that they charge to shorten them up here in Canada. So anyhow guys, that's pretty much it for this video. Hopefully you can, if you feel confident, you can shorten your own drive shaft and go from there, save some money for other stuff on your project. So anyhow guys, thanks for tuning in, thanks for subscribing. We'll catch you on the next one.